Gregory Cooper and I, I'm back with another video. Man, looking for my start, so I'm not going nowhere. I'm currently at 1,999 subscribers on YouTube. Let's go ahead and give a round of applause for that. Oh, my ass. So before this video actually starts, I just want to give a shout out to the fam, man. Shout out to all the cousins, man. We almost at 2K subscribers, which I'm sure by the time this video drops, that I will reach that 2K subscriber milestone. So I just want to shout out to y'all. I feel like I took a very interesting route when it comes to like my YouTube channel, especially talking about sneakers and fashion, just because like I talk about the things that I'm genuinely interested in. I don't necessarily always talk about trending topics. So I feel like the people who come back and show support, whether it's through a like, a comment on my channel in particular, I feel like they're genuinely here for me. They may not be interested in what I'm talking about. It may be a clog. I know everybody doesn't care about clogs. It may be a collab that's not so trending, but I feel like the people who show to my page, at least, like I feel like they're genuinely here for me. So as always, I just want to give a thanks to y'all. Truthfully, I love doing YouTube. If you follow me on Instagram, you know I don't really post too much on Instagram like that. Just because I kind of felt out of love doing that. And I feel like all my attention's been going to YouTube. So again, I just want to give a thanks to y'all. I like doing this, and I'm gonna continue to do this as long as it's fun for me. And as it stands right now, I'm having a blast doing YouTube. So with that being said, let's get into this recent pickup. Now, this recent pickup is actually, it's wild. I don't wanna always gas a recent pickup. It's been a cool, I wanna say about 3-4 months since I did my last recent pickup. But since then, I feel like I've got some crazy pieces. Some of them just me picking them up. Others are from my girlfriend. She gave me like the birthday present she gave me this year, just like last year. Crazy. So shout out to her. Love you dearly. If you're watching this, she'll find it. All right, but let's get into that first piece. All right, so first up is gonna be this cadet Stussy hat. Let's see if it focuses. Can it focus? There it is. I just thought this was fire. And if you've been on my channel, you know there's one hat that is always worn throughout my thumbnails, throughout my fits. I've always worn this hat. This officer hat from Stussy I bought maybe like 4 years ago. I've worn this religiously, bro. This has been like my main hat for a very long time. It was just very simple. I don't know, I just like military-esque type hats or like hunting hats, cadet hats. Like, this is just like my category of hats that I really like. So when this dropped maybe like 2 months ago, I seen it and I was like, I need this hat. And I just like, you know, the camo on it. I think this is a desert camo. I'm not certain of the camo, but like it just looks fire. It fits the type of hats that I like rocking. No, this is gonna be basically a stand-in because I've worn this so much. Like it lost most of its structure. It no longer fits how it used to fit. And this is like, I don't know, like it's just a dope hat. I really like this hat. I like the colorway on it. I definitely needed something just a little bit lighter, given that this was like my main one that was black. Obviously I just need to switch up, but this cadet hat from Stussy was an absolute must, bro. This is like what I look for when it comes to hats. Y'all know I like my goofy hats. I got the, damn, what's that brand called? I got that hunting hat from Number 9. And I also have this hat. I have like, you know, like my hats are just very particular the way I like them. So this was just a great pickup all in all. Like I love this hat. But yeah, this is gonna be the Stussy cadet hat. You are definitely gonna see it in thumbnails. You are definitely gonna see it in fits. This is gonna be my go-to hat from now on. All right, so next up, I gotta talk about something special. You know, like when people say like, oh damn, when I finally start getting money, I'm gonna get some of the things that I always wish I had. I remember when I was younger, I seen these shoes and I thought they were fire then, but as you know, time goes on, I go into college, I graduate, new sneakers pop up that I want. But like this sneaker was always in the back of my head of like, just like a solid sneaker. I mean, just like the concept for it is dope. Again, I remember from back then, and like somebody I knew personally, my cousin had them, and I was just like, I need those sneakers. But these are gonna be the Quagmire SB Dunks, bro. Oh my gosh. Just a great addition to the closet, bro. Just a great addition. Great addition to the closet. It's just great to just look at this shoe. Like, this is just all around a great shoe. Obviously, having the colorways of Quagmire shirt. So he had like the stars right here. Then he had the blue pants. And I just think like, this is a great sneaker. It's almost like I don't know how to describe, like a pop culture reference when it comes to sneakers. This is just like a great sneaker. And I'm not gonna sit here and say like, oh, they don't do sneakers like this anymore, like, you know, anything like that. But I feel like that SB era of like 2010 and down, they were just doing a lot of pop culture references and like, you know, like they were just doing great things. And this is just one of those things that come out of that era. Like, this is an amazing shoe. Crazy just based on the condition of these. Like, this is one of those things that's gonna stay in my closet forever. Like, it's not going anywhere. Obviously, I love Family Guy. Family Guy for a long time was just like background noise for me. Like, if I was in college and I was studying, or if I was doing homework, or like, you know, I consider Family Guy, The Office, and there's one other show, but like those are like the main background noise I've seen almost every episode, if not more than twice or 3 times. So this is just a great shoe to have. Yeah, bro, this is just a legendary sneaker. And again, just to touch on this point, to see something that came out in like 2009, to see the condition that these are in, definitely nothing to sneeze at. Like, they're perfectly fine, except like there is slight redding, you know, red discoloration on the white laces, which I'm cool with that because they came with yellow laces, and just like knowing who I am, I'm definitely gonna do the yellow laces. I just haven't swapped it out yet. But yeah, no, SB Dunk, Quagmires dropped in 2009. Legendary collab. Again, I remember my cousin had these and I was like, bro, those are fire, bro. Like, I need to figure out how to get these one day, and to see them in my closet, they're gonna be well kept for. I'm gonna rock them because I'm CEO of Rock Your Sneakers, but legendary. All right, so next up is just a very chill piece. Again, I celebrated my birthday August 30th. I was in Dallas, Texas. I went to a vintage store that I've been to before. I forget the name of it right now, but it's in Deep Ellum. But I just got this Texas shirt. Nothing crazy. I just thought it was like it had a cool print. It just said Texas in different fonts and different, like, you know, materials, not materials, but like chain fence. Then it has it like in a rope. Then it also has like armadillos and stuff like that. And like, just living in Texas, I feel like this was just like a good piece. And I believe this is from 91. I can't really make out what it says, but it says 1991. So like, just overall, just a good piece. I wish it said 1996, just because like, I've been finding shirts lately that have 1996 on it. Got the Olympics when it was in Atlanta. This is a 1996 shirt. I wore this on my birthday. But yeah, I just thought this was like a good cop. It was only like 30 bucks. And I was like, can't really skip it. Like, it caught my eye, like sifting through the racks. And if you vintage shop, you know, like when something catch your eye, especially when you're going through like maybe 70 shirts on a rack, like if something catches my eye, I'm gonna stop, I'm gonna look. And if it's good, I'm gonna probably cop it. Just because like most of the times you going through the rack, most of the stuff isn't really eye catching for the most part. But yeah, cool little vintage tee. The fit on it was great. I like the overall, you know, the design of it. Living in Texas, of course, so I just thought like this was like a good, you know, vintage piece to pick up. All right, so next up, I already talked about these shorts on my YouTube. So if you do want to watch my review of the Cherry On baggy pleated shorts, that video is right there. But I just simply couldn't get one. I love the way these shorts fit. I'm talking like, I don't have many shorts. Like my Jaded London green shorts that I always rock, those have been with me for at least 3 to 4 years. So finding another brand to give me shorts that I just like, I like the way they fit, the material of it, and like I can give my Jaded London ones a break, it was only right that I bought 2. So again, I have a whole video dedicated to these shorts on my channel, but I not only got these, but I have to get them in black. Just because I feel like I could do a little bit more with black, even though I could do a lot with the pinstripe. I just feel like black can basically go with anything in my closet and I'll get a lot of wear out of it. But again, just great materials, great feel. The weight on it is amazing. They did an upgrade from the previous pair, which I talked about in that video. And I didn't know at the point in time that I made that they did an upgrade to the materials, but very apparent that it was an upgrade. But overall, just great shorts, great brand. They're doing a lot of amazing stuff. And he also let me in on a hint, but I'm not gonna do that just yet because he messaged me on Instagram. He was like, something you said might be right. Be on the lookout for it. So again, the brand is Che Rion. I also had him on Claw Talk. So if you do want to hear his perspective on his brand and why he started and all that, that video is right there too. But yeah, had to get 2 pairs of these giant pleated baggy shorts just because they fit amazing and they felt even better. Now this piece is another brand that I've talked about on my page maybe 2 or 3 times. I do have a dedicated video to this brand in particular, but this is gonna come from Hidden Season. It's like this, I don't think this is gingham. I think it's like plaid, boxy type shirt, and it just looked dope. I've been having this weird fad of like anything purple, whether it be sneakers or like shirts or anything like that. I've been gravitating to the color purple for right now. I don't know why. Shout out to the movie. But when I saw this shirt, I was like, I need that. I will say, since I'm not gonna do a full-blown review on it, it is extremely boxy. So I got a size large in this, and it's like what it looks like on me, but I wish I would've got a medium. I don't know if it's just because like the sleeve length is super long as well, but I feel like that medium would've just fit me just a little bit better at how I want it to fit. Again, there's nothing wrong with the shirt. I still have rocked it, and I still am planning to rock it, but I just wish I got the medium instead of the large because I feel like the medium would have fit me just a little bit better. But overall, it's a cool shirt. You know, even though we're kind of venturing off away from summer and we're going into fall territory, I think I can still pull off some good fits with this button down. But overall, again, this is a brand that I think is doing a lot of dope things. They're using a lot of color, which, you know, I'm always for that. I feel like that whole muted thing is not really my style. I like color pops. I like things that are gonna stand out. And I feel like this brand is doing a lot of like color pop. They're doing like a lot of different like unique silhouettes and like, you know, basically things that I tend to gravitate to versus other brands. So again, this brand is called Hidden Season. If you're looking for some good baggy denim, baggy shorts, some zip up hoodies, nice shirts, I think the hats are really dope. If you're looking for like a lot of that and you kind of like, if your style aligns with mine, this is definitely a brand that you should keep on your watch list. But again, this shirt comes from Hidden Season, like this plaid purple, really dope. And I think, again, I'm not, like this is gonna be in my closet for a while just because especially, even though I'm having this moment right now with purple, even if I phase out of that, you know, purple phase I'm going through, I think I'll still have this shirt, you know, especially going into next summer. This will just be another piece that I'll already have in my closet. All right, so next up we have another SB dunk, an SB premium dunk. Again, these came out when I was just graduating high school. So in 2015, I graduated high school, shout out to me, whatever, yada, yada, yada. Again, at the time that these came out and I started to see people rock them, I was like, damn, those shoes are fire. I want those shoes. But like leaving high school, single parent household, going into college, basically all my funds was going into college. So like I couldn't always get certain sneakers, especially in college, bro. Like very limited with the sneakers I used to get. I used to get discount shoes, DD's discount, Ross, Marshalls. If I knew a homie that worked at Adidas, which I did, he would hook up the discount. So I wasn't always getting like the top of the line sneakers back then. These, insane. But these are gonna be the De La Soul Dunks, SB Dunks right here. Let me see if it'll focus. And this is just a great sneaker, man. It just got so hot doing that. But yeah, this is just one of those sneakers that like, again, when I was younger, I was like, damn, those are fire. But like, I just couldn't get them at the time. And to have them in my closet, you know, it's just like same thing with the Quagmires. Like, it was just a sneaker that like, I saw other people have and I was like, damn, bro, like I really need these. And I wasn't even planning on getting these. Again, my girlfriend got these for me for my birthday. I was not aware that she was even gonna do this. Was not aware. I was completely unaware. And she popped out when I opened the box. I was like, what the? So yeah, legendary pickup, De La Soul, premium low dunk. Look at the condition on that though, bro. Just absurd, bro. Just a great sneaker, great colorway. Everything just like, it just came together really well. Like again, being of that group of like great cultural sneakers, you know, cult, what did I say earlier? Cult or like, you know, pop culture references. Like this is just legendary. These are legendary to me, at least. I know a lot of people like these. They have the other variations, which they have like that yellow and white pair. Then they also have the high, but like this pair is just one of those pairs that like, I knew eventually I would get it in my closet. I just didn't think it would be this soon. But again, y'all go see these. Y'all go see these on Instagram. I'm gonna try to take some pictures of these just because like, it's just that dope to have them in hand. But y'all go see this a lot. Promise that. All right, so this next piece isn't actually like new. It's just a recop of something that I had previously, but I just grew out of it. But these are gonna be the Beams two-pleat 12 pant. I've actually had these once, but they were a size large. These are a size extra large. And if you follow my accounts, then you know like I went on like a weight gaining journey. I gained maybe like 40 to like 40 pounds in like the past 2 years. So like my last pair, I just grew out of them. Like I was like legit busting buttons out. Like I was like, I could not fit them anymore. So I just got rid of them and I like kind of forgot about these pants until very recently. I just picked these up maybe last week, but these are just good pants to have. Like here's a picture of me rocking them here. And here's another picture of me rocking them here. They're just good pants and they're not necessarily baggy, but like they're just good pants to wear if you like, you know, or meeting up with friends or family, or you're going out to a dinner, or like, you know, you got to dress up just a little bit. You can't rock, you know, the streetwear look. These are just good pants to have to kind of break up all the streetwear that I have in my closet. And they're also just made very well. Beams is just one of those brands, like they do what they do and they do it good. Simple as that. Beams Plus is just one of those brands where like they do what they do and they do it very well. Construction wise, like you'll have these for a long time. For the reason that I didn't keep my old pairs because I just grew out of them. Had I still fit them, I would still have them in my closet. So that's why I repurchased them, just because like they're just easy to put on, easy to do what I gotta do and go about my day. Simple as that. But yeah, Beams Plus, great pant, two-pleat 12 pant if you're looking for it. I think it's fairly priced too, being at like a 160-ish for a pant, especially like Japanese made. I think that's a fair price to pay for these. And I feel like I may have been suffering from like, cause I feel like when I purchased these maybe last year, they were like 130-ish, but you know, tariffs and, you know, fuels and all that, like, you know, that can affect the product. So I understand it, but overall, great pair of pants. I had to repurchase them just because like, I felt the lack of this type of pant in my closet and I needed something like this. Now, next piece, oh boy, we got a banger. The fuck, we got a banger of a piece, bro. Y'all know when it comes to my channel, it's probably like 4 brands you can expect me to see. You go see some Stussy on my page. You go see some Denim Tears for show on my page. What else? You go see some Saucony just because I rock with the, you know, the people over at Saucony. But if there's another brand you go see on my page, every once in a blue moon, I might go get it often, but when I do get it, I'm gonna talk about it. That's gonna be Bode. New Bode alert. The new Bode piece is in. Again, this is just one of those brands that I just rock with heavy. Very simple in the aesthetic of it. Nice boxy fit, nice and airy. So like, again, even though we're transitioning out of that summer into that early fall, it's just a great piece to have. So when that summer comes around again and that spring and that summer comes around again, I'm gonna have this piece already. And this is just like, this is just a legendary shirt, bro. And for whatever reason, all my Bode shirts are blue and white. That's not planned, that's not orchestrated. I don't know why that is, but like when it comes to blue and white Bode shirts, they are going to be gas. It has a nice boxy fit on it. Again, that's just what I like. Sleeve length, perfect. The way it kind of just drapes on my body, again, perfect. It doesn't feel tight, snug, or anything like that. This is going to be worn to oblivion. I promise you that. This is going to be worn a lot. And again, I think the overall aesthetic of it is easy. You got this dude playing golf, then you got the holes, and then you also have the golf cart on the back. Like, it's just like very simple, like clean, not too much going on. I kind of like that it's not overly detailed either. Like it's like almost outlined as if like almost a child painted it or like a child stitched it. I kind of like that aspect of it. Like it's not, you know, super detailed or anything like that. Like I like the overall simplicity of it and how light it is. Like it's a very light fabric. So I'm gonna have to be a little bit more cautious when it comes to like me rocking it compared to like my other Bode pieces. But this piece, let me tell you, boy, it's something about that Bode, man. I just can't figure it out just yet, but it's something about that Bode, man. Let me tell you. Great piece overall. I love it. And it's going to be in my closet literally forever. Like my other Bode pieces. They're gonna stay in the closet forever. All right, so next up I have this hat and this shirt from the brand Be Love from Now On. Now again, this is somebody that I had on Claw Talk. So if you do want to learn more about this brand or, you know, hear from the owner's perspective, like why he started the brand or what the brand means to him, that video is right there. But this is gonna be like their jersey tee, which honestly, it is a very unique design. Like it is like jersey material, like that mesh material, but the rest is like a t-shirt. And I just think it's dope, bro. It's dope to like do something different when you can go the route of just doing, you know, graphic tee, crop shirt, very in, can sell it very easily because that's what people are wanting. And you go a different route and you do something that I haven't really seen yet. I think this is just a dope concept. And I think the fit on it is what really makes it for me. Like it's a great shirt, don't get me wrong. But the fit on it is amazing. Again, that's what I look that's what I look for when it comes to shirts. That boxy fit, but it's not overly boxy. Like it fits my frame easily. Yeah. And then I got this hat from him. It's in this color green, very simple hat, not too much going on, which I love. I hate when brands overly brand their products. I feel like you'll let the product speak for itself. And it's like, it's not too much going on. This has this B on it. This green is very like the satin green is very fire. The shape of it is dope. Like I've had it in different thumbnails already. It's been my go-to hat for the moment, just because like when I had an afro, like it fits over the fro very easily. Like I'm not, whenever it comes to like, when I got my hair out right now, I got braids in, whenever it comes to the fro and I could throw a hat on and it fits on my head and it's not a battle to get it on, I'm definitely gonna keep this. So like this hat is definitely gonna stay in my closet for a very long time. But again, shout out to the homie over at Beloved from Now On. I'll put their link in the bio so you can shop if you want to, or if you just want to give a follow or just figure out more about the brand. But again, shout out to him. This shirt and this hat, definitely gonna be in the closet for a while. All right, so next up are gonna be these stockings right here. And let me actually pull up the name of these shoes because I know they have numbers in it. And for whatever reason, when I start seeing numbers, my brain starts to do things where I'm like, all right, does not compute. These are gonna be called the Saucony 586IS from Saucony Silo. Now, if you're not familiar with Saucony Silo, it's gonna be a fraction off from Saucony. So Saucony is the big name. Saucony Silo is basically like Carhartt Whip or like Vans off the wall. Like it's gonna be their more experimental, more pushing the envelope, you know, more, you know, advancement into like the future type sneakers. So like that's what these are. And I don't think I'm gonna do a full blown review for these just because like they don't fit. So the person that I talk to at Saucony that sends me shoes, he sends me 9s and I wear a size 9.5. So some of the shoes they send, they fit perfectly. Some of them, they don't. These, although I can get my foot in them, I can't give them a fair review just because like I didn't get my size in these, but these are fire. Saucony, listen to me. These have so much potential. Even just with like, you know, forget the shoe alone. The potential with this little flap, you give it to somebody maybe like Bare Knuckles, for example. They turn this, keep the same, you know, Saucony, you know, motif, but turn this into a brass knuckle, bro, that'll be so fire for these. Or like, you know, there's just so much potential. Like, you know, take, for example, something like Fruit de Loom. You know, you drop a Fruit de Loom pack and there's just different fruits. So like, you know, obviously it won't be in a perfect shape of like a pear or like some grapes, but like, just think about like what you can do with this flap and you do it with different people's brands. Like let's say Salehi Benberry. Instead of the flap being like this, maybe it's in the shape of like a fingerprint or like a thumbprint. Like that's like what his motif is. Or somebody like Denim Tears where like this is like almost in the shape of like cotton or like, you know, what's another brand that I can think of? You know, or maybe it's like Stussy, and like these are like section off dice. Like just alone based off this, you have so much to work with. Now, talking about the shoe, it is that perfect low top shoe. Like this is what's in right now. This is what's in. You have the color blocking, which I feel like can do so much just based on the paneling of the shoe. Again, this is just like, this is fire. I think this is probably, you know, I'm gonna be biased because, you know, I kind of like shoes that look like this. I love running shoes, but like, if I'm talking like from the heart and like what I really love is sneakers like this. This sneaker has so much potential. And I feel like this could be the driving force for a lot of like collabs and like dope things that come out of it. You know, again, mentioning this, but also just like the blocking on this, you can do so much with this. Like a metallic pair, you could do a, you know, a multicolored pack. Like I see the potential with this. And again, that's why I didn't want to do a full blown review with it, because I didn't want to like, I can't give it a fair chance just because it wasn't my size. Although I rocked these on the Las Vegas Strip, although I, you know, wore these on many different occasions, they don't fit. So that kind of adds to like, you know, almost like a discomfort where I feel like had these been my true size, that wouldn't have happened. So these are a size 9. I'm typically a true 9.5. So if you're watching this video and you want a pair of these, I say go true to size. And depending on the structure of your foot, if you have like a wider foot, you might want to go maybe a half size up. But I think a true size in these, I'm still gonna rock them, but I don't think I could rock them for long, you know, durations of time. I think a 1 hour, 2 hour max before I'm like, okay, my feet kind of hurting because they're not my true size. But again, I love this silhouette. The silhouette's fire. Now, again, I do have a full-blown review for these as well, but these are going to be the Kent Bar from Saucony Silo as well. These have become my everyday gym sneaker, and I talked about that when I reviewed the other pair, but these are just great shoes, amazing shoes. Again, these are a size 9, but they fit me, and they fit me how I need them to fit. So with these, I would say you can go down a half size. Even though I'm a true 9.5, these fit me perfectly, no issue. So yeah, that's going to wrap up Saucony. Shout out to Saucony. Again, I feel like going into 2026, you know, people are wrapping up the year. I feel like going to 2026, brands like Saucony are going to continue to have that buzz with their name. They had that buzz last year. I feel like this year they kind of like, you know, they launched Silo and things like that. But I feel like going to 2026, they about to be a force to reckon with, bro. I feel like I would put Saucony right now above Asics. I feel like Asics has been kind of quiet just a little bit, not too crazy. I'm not gonna do too much, but I feel like Saucony is definitely like that silent company that's sneaking up on people. And I feel like going to 2026, they are about to. And again, I'm not just saying that just because Saucony's been taking off. Again, the reason that the person that sends me Sauconys sends me them because I've been rocking them since high school. Before it was cool to rock them, before J Tips. I've been rocking Sauconys. The hook. I don't know how I forgot to mention these two other things that weren't included in earlier parts of this video, but these two things definitely need to be included. All right, so number 1 is going to be the ALD Diner Clog. Now, if you follow my channel, then you know I absolutely love the ALD Garden Clog. I bought 2 pairs of those. Love those. I do have a full-blown review on the Diner Clog, so if you do want to watch that, that is on my channel under clog reviews and shoe reviews. I'm gonna just keep it short. These are not better than the Garden Clogs. They're not. I thought they were because when I initially got a hold of them and I opened the box, I was like, oh, these are definitely gonna be better. They feel structured. They have a little bit more tread on the bottom. I thought these were gonna blow the Garden Clogs out the water, but as I wore them, I started to notice things that kind of just made me not have such an enjoyable experience in them. Like, for example, the main thing in the video was whenever I took a step, these creases would expand like this, which will create gaps whenever I walk. And I feel like I had to like clench my toes at the top to keep the shoe on. Cause sometimes like when I walk and it'll expand too much, my foot would come out. And then like it would suction back up once I took that step and like the step was complete. So again, I really want to love the Diner Clog. I wouldn't say I had a bad experience because they are comfortable and they do have this back support here. And like overall, I like what they did here. but I still think the Garden Clog is better. I think the Garden Clog is, you know, just a little bit more secure as far as walking. As far as comfortability, they're probably right on par. And I believe though, and I mentioned this in that review, I could have went down to a size 8 in these and probably had a better experience, because since there was so much space created whenever I took a step, I think had I got that 8, it would have been a little bit tighter on my foot, keeping my foot a little bit more secure. But again, had to include these just because, again, I love the ALD Garden Clog. And I thought these were about to just blow those out of the water, and they did it. The one edge I will say about these though, the one edge that it has over the Garden Clog, I will just keep it above. These came with a box. The ALD Garden Clogs did not, or at least when I purchased them back in like 2022 and 2023, they did not come with a box. These came with a box. They came with like a nice little dust bag. So I will say the Diner Clog definitely takes it there. But as far as like overall experience in the shoe, I definitely had a better experience in the Garden Clog, hence why I bought 2. Now, the last thing that I forgot to mention in this recent pickup video was the Super Berkey 2.0. Now, if you remember my original video about the Super Berkey, like the 1.0 or like the original Super Berkey, my main gripe with that was I didn't have the best experience because like the way the shoe kind of like had like that divot at the top, it was scrape against my foot, and like I had pain on, like whenever I rocked them, I would experience that pain. And that's still the most uncomfortable clog that I have in my collection. I have like 6 to 7 pairs of clogs. The Super Berkey original pair is still the most uncomfortable clog in my closet. The 2.0, they went off. They fixed everything. I think it's a little bit sleeker of a design. The tread on the bottom is a little bit thicker, so I'll have more wear, or I'll get more wear out of it. And overall, I just think they just did it better. Like the overall shoe itself just looks better. The insole is also, damn. The insole itself is just a little bit better than the original. In my opinion, it could just be the same, but I don't know. I just feel like they took everything that I mentioned that I did not like about the Super Berkey original. I know they didn't watch the video, unless y'all did. They took everything that I did not like about the Super Berkey original and upgraded it with the 2.0. Like it's an overall better looking shoe. Although it is a wider shoe in every sense of the word, like here, like it's a bigger shoe. Like it almost feels like, you know, a platform shoe compared to the original, but I think it's better and it still has that clean, sleek, you know, aesthetic to it. So I think overall they fixed it. The 2.0, wildly better. Better. These are just better overall. The Super Berkey 2.0, they did their job. They did exactly what they needed to do. I may potentially get a second pair in a different color if like that second color is like something that I need in my closet, but they're that good to where I would buy a second pair, just like I bought a second pair of the Garden Clog. So Super Berkey 2.0, fire. All right, so the last and final thing, I can't even show it on the table just because of how big these pants are. But these are gonna come from the homie down in Dallas, Texas, where I always link up with the homies. This is gonna come from Juniverse Lab, and this is in collaboration with the brand Sunday School. I've also done work with Sunday School. These pants are crazy. They're wild. I can't personally fit them right now. I'm gonna have to take it in just a little bit because the leg opening on these they're just, I don't rock big boots or big sneakers. Most of my sneakers, for the most part, have like that medium to small profile. So like, I'm gonna have to take these in just a little bit to take off like, man, maybe not even a little bit. I might have to take it down to this. But overall, the details on these pants are just insane. They're insane. And it has like that front pocket, but the front pockets and the back pockets kind of have like the same shape. So like your back pockets feel like front pockets. And I just think that's a dope touch to it. And they are doing a pop-up. So this video is gonna come out before the pop-up. If you are in New York City, September 13th, I'll put the flyer right here. If you are in New York City, definitely pull up on him. Check out the pieces for yourself to see just how they feel like. I mean, when I talk about these ain't going nowhere over time, these are structured. They have structured for sure. They're just like great pants. I haven't really dabbled into like rocking white. Like I might do like a oatmeal or like a off-white, but like when it comes to just straight up bleach white pants, I haven't really dabbled into that just because like, you know, I do stuff where they're gonna get dirty easy. And I never really wanted to like rock white pants or pay a premium price. I never wanted to pay a premium price. I never wanted to pay a premium price for a white pair of pants that I knew I was going to get extremely dirty. But these are fire though. These are fire, overall dope. It's definitely gonna give me a challenge when it comes to styling, but I'm up for a challenge. I feel like I haven't really, when it comes to my styling, I've kind of been buying things that I know I'm going to rock, and I haven't necessarily got pieces that like kind of break me out of like my typical fashion. So I am glad that I was able to get these because I think it's gonna break me out of my traditional and like, let me be a little bit more open to how I would style these. So I'm interested once I do get these taken in, how I'm gonna put it together. But overall, great piece. But overall, it's a great piece though. Structure-wise, the weight of it, the overall design on it is just like super unique, super different. So shout out to the homie, Juniverse Lab, shout out to Abu, shout out to Sunday School for linking up with the homie. Y'all did some great stuff. And if you are in New York City, definitely wanna check them out. And I almost forgot, I'm rocking a Scully right now from our Jar World. That is the homie Rashi's brand. So whenever you see me in Dallas, I'm definitely linking up with Abu from Juniverse, but I'm also linking up with Rashi from a Jar World. This is gonna be a Scully from his brand. Again, I'll put their links down below so you can check out their websites or check out their like pages to like figure out when they are dropping. But this is just a dope piece as well. I feel like I need more of these. Scullies, I didn't really hop on the bandwagon when they were really popping, even though they're still popping. But like, I understand now why. I understand now why people cop these. It's just like something you could just throw on and just go about your day. You ain't gotta think too much. You put this on, you got a messed up haircut, you can do whatever you wanna do. Nobody knows what's going on under here. I could be bald for all sakes. Y'all wouldn't know. But yeah, that is gonna wrap up this recent pickup video, man. It was some fire. It is some fire stuff that I just recently picked up. I can't wait to start putting it all together. Sneakers that I've always wanted, brands that I just absolutely love. Even just vintage pieces. Like I've been rocking a little bit more vintage. Like my selection of vintage tees have definitely, gone up from like the past 2 years. So yeah, I don't know. I feel like this is like a really solid one. It wasn't like a big recent pickup video, but I feel like it's really good pieces in here. Quagmire's, De La Soul, Bode, Juniverse, Cherion, Ajar, like there's some good pieces in here. But let me know in the comments, what was your favorite piece from this recent pickup video? Again, I always want to have conversations with y'all. What also have y'all been picking up? Put me on some new brands. Let me know what y'all been picking up, what brands y'all been gravitating to. But without further ado, like I always do, I will catch y'all in that next one.
But I love the way you work it. Ay, I love the way you work it for me.